Oh, microphone. There it is. Okay. All right. Those of you at home, use a distributed property to expand and simplify, if possible, the following expressions. We got those. You're going to want to pause the video and do that because we're ready to go right now. So pause it in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right. Let's go ahead and clip these out. Whoop. And let's see here. I'm going to copy that. Grab that. Behold your future. Math spoilers up there. Okay, so if I was going to use the distributive property to expand this, how would I go about doing that, Skylar? Yeah. And what did that give you? Awesome. How many of us got 5p minus 10q plus 40 for that? Perfect. Not too bad. All right, next one. Let's see here. Milo, how would you do number 2? Great. And what would that give you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. Very good. How many of us got negative 27x minus 72y minus 9? Ooh, did someone get something really close to that then? Ah, there might be a mistake in here. When I say teach, I want you guys to say, okay, did you get something different? Is there a little mistake in here? And how would you offer advice? Whoa, 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 whoa. How would you offer advice to someone who made that little mistake there? Give it a try and teach. Talk it out, guys. Talk it out. Just a little thing. You know what? I think I'm gonna try and stamp this one off a bunch because you guys doing your work here. All right. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. What was the mistake, Bennett? Yeah. We have to think of this as negative 9 times negative 8, which would give us a positive 72 right here. That's okay. That happens, and that's part of what we're talking about. This is beautiful. Okay, who's the lucky winner for number 3? That's going to be Nori. What would you do for number 3? It's okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do it then. Tell me, table A. Let's listen to Nori. Nori, tell me what to do. Mhm. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to do that before we can combine it with the 1. Do you mind if I make that a negative 2, though? Since that minus sign acts like a negative when we're multiplying, what would that give me here? What would that, forget everything that's not in the parentheses. What would that give me from the parentheses situation? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. And then everything else is just going to drop down. Bazoon Everything else is just going to drop down like that. Very good. Where would you go from here? Let's see if I can get a little bit of help. And that's going to come from, that's going to be Penny. Where would you go from there? Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That would be a positive 8b minus a 7b because the symbol to the left is what counts. Yeah, plus b. Way to not put the 1 because it's technically 1b, but we want it to be reduced and that would just have no b there. Now, Canvas would have been kind of upset about this answer because it asked you to put your constant term last. And so we have to make sure that we flip this around to b minus 9. Me personally, no. Like, not until 10th grade is that actually something you need to worry about. Like, but on your self-assessments, I'm going to insist that you write it this way. On your skill check, though, if you got it wrong because of this and you leave me a comment, I'll give you the points. I'll give you the points if something like that happens. Mira, you had a question. That answered the question. Nathan actually asked a really good question from me. He asked, what if we get something like this? What if we get like 5 minus 6x? How are we supposed to flip that? Because you can't write it 6x minus 5. That's a totally different story, right? Remember, though, there is a secret sign in front of this 5. What secret sign is in front of this 5, everybody? There's a secret plus sign. There's a secret plus sign. So you can flip it if you take that secret plus sign with it and turn that into negative 6x plus 5. You can do that, and that's okay. That was a really good question, and I'm glad that we talked about that. Very good. How are we feeling on these guys? Big thumbs up, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Big thumbs down. I hate every second of it, and it's really hard. Help me. And then dial it somewhere in between. Where is everybody? Where's everybody? Okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right. It is the 39th day of school. You know, 39 is used as text slang in Japan to mean thank you. Here's why. 3 in Japanese is san. San, excuse me. And then 9 is Q. So if you say 3-9, how would you say that in Japanese? You're welcome. Exactly, yeah. So when you want to say thank you, just send a little 3-9. All right, I love it. I'm a huge fan. It's an Ombudsperson Awareness Day. Does anyone know what an ombudsman is? So an ombudsman is actually a real career that people have, and it actually pays pretty well. Anywhere between, it's like $70,000 and up, depending on who you work for. But the idea, guys, is if you're a lawyer, then you deal with legal disputes, right? Like if Melissa stole my cat, and then I was like, give me my cat back, and she's like, I lost your cat, and I was like, well, I'm going to sue you for the cost of my cat, which was like $80, plus damages, which is 10 million. So 10 million and $80, please. But in any case, that would be like a legal dispute that we had. But it turns out there's lots of disputes that aren't legal, but that are still important to get through. So, for example, let's say that I had a beef with Miss Mudro. Let's say Miss Mudro and I had a beef, and it's part of our duties that we are supposed to stand outside, but like we can't see each other in the hallway without like throwing stuff at each other and like almost fighting and all these problems that are a big deal, right? So is that a legal matter though? Not really. That's like a personal like work matter. So an ombudsperson is someone who deals with conflict that's not legal. So like well, not like illegal conflict. That's a different job. I guess that's also a lawyer. But like it's not like a legal matter. It's like they work on getting people who need to be able to work together. Even if that means like, well, the best move is to change Mr. Peterson's room, and it's like, I'm not changing my room. And that's their job. How many of us are surprised? How many of us have never heard of that job before? But it makes sense that it exists. How many of us feel like we'd be pretty good at that job personally? Hello, fellow middle children. How are you guys doing? It's good to see you. All right. Let's see here, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. What is our first essential question? And I would just love to get that from crew. Go ahead and write that down. What is factoring? That's our first one. What is factoring? And then our second essential question is going to come from Luke. How can I use the distributive property in reverse to write an expression in factored form? How many people, by raising hand, just reading that second essential question, you actually kind of already see maybe what we're going to be doing today? How many of us can think they've got an idea of what we're going to be up to? That's awesome. Let that thought sit there and let's see what happens. A smile in any language. This language is the third most common official language among countries. They would write it like that and say Aibtisama, which is indeed Arabic. Arabic is correct. And then fairy tales, that is supposed to be Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty, indeed. Yeah, he's done. He is cooked. Okay. Can I get you in 5? He doesn't look like he's having a good time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Got a pencil?
Absolutely.
Today we're factoring expressions. Factoring expressions. Today we're factoring expressions. We're going to start with a bit of a story here, so let's go ahead and get into it. Gesundheit. Here we go. Boop. Factoring expressions. Donation. You're donating goods to families in need for the holidays. Halloween's the holiday. You've currently got 12 packages of toilet paper, 9 packs of diapers, 15 tubes of toothpaste, and 18 boxes of Q-tips. By the way, a lot of the time when we do these drives, guys, people always do like canned food, which is important. It's good to give canned food to these drives. But people often ignore like things like toiletries that are really important for folks in need. And like I said, they often get ignored, and so they sometimes don't get donated enough. So if you have any of these lying around, like think about donating them to the food bank. The food bank can get them distributed. Will you guys write an expression showing how much your donation is worth based on the cost of each item? It doesn't have to be algorithmic, right? It can be modern, so just use a variable. That's fine with me. See what you guys can do with it and teach. Perfect. And one of these days, I'm going to put that in not upside down, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Go ahead. How would you write that expression? All right, let's see how we did. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Rico, what's the expression that you came up with?
I did 12C plus 9C.
9C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 15C plus 18C.
This is kind of like what the Italians did, right? Where it was like, it's this thing, that thing, this other thing. So it turns out that we actually can't do this because the problem is, Rico, is that if I was like, okay, let's simplify this expression, we could add all these C's together, right? But that wouldn't be a very good representation because there's a package of toilet paper. Uh-oh. Oh, she is in my first period, Kaylee. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the problem is that a package of toilet paper might not, and in fact probably doesn't cost the same amount that a package of Q-tip does. So let's see if we can pick different letters, Rico. So what letter would you like to use to represent toilet paper?
T.
T. How about diapers?
D.
D. How about toothpaste?
P.
P. And how about Q-tips?
C.
Let's keep the C for that one. So we'll go 12 toilet papers, 9, was it diapers? Diapers, 15 toothpastes, 18 Q-tips. How many of us got an expression that looked something like this? And this is a little bit more accurate. This is a little bit more accurate because we don't know that Q-tips cost the same amount as diapers, that cost the same amount as toothpaste, cost the same amount of toilet paper. So we're good. We're all set. Okay. Now, guys, let's talk a little bit about care packages. Because here's the thing. Let's say you're running this toiletries drive, right? And you're like taking in donations, and you've got all this stuff here, and someone comes up to you and says, "Hi, is this where you're doing like the toiletries drive?" And then you say, "It is. Like, do you have something to donate?" And the guy's like, "Well, actually, the truth is my family's been kind of struggling lately, and I'm really wondering, is there anything that you could do, like, and you're like, oh, I understand. You're here because you need some of the stuff from the drive for your family. Absolutely, I'll be right back. And then you go to the back and you come back out and you're like, here you go, 10 boxes of Q-tips. And then the guy's like, thanks. Right? So we're going to actually split this up into care packages, okay? So we're going to separate our donation into care packages. So instead of just giving someone like all the Q-tips or all the diapers or just some random assortment of stuff, we're going to send things to ship out. You're going to ship these out in 3 boxes. And I want you guys to make it so that every box has the same amount in it, right? So you're going to build 3 boxes with what you have, and each box is going to have the same amount in them. Does that make sense, guys? To make sure that when you give you the packages, someone's like, hey, that guy got 2 more boxes of Q-tips than me. And he's like, ooh, I got the Q-tips, baby. And then they start fighting each other, and now you need an ombudsman to all work it out, right? So when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, how much is going to be in each box if you separate them into 3 boxes? Give it a try, and here we go. Give me that extra pack of diapers! Teach!
Give me that extra pack of diapers.
Sorry. Manuel was not expected to be yelled at about diapers today. Yeah, that's the idea, right? And how much would be in each one?
How are you supposed to write this?
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you supposed
Well, how many packages of toilet paper? Oh, no, you've done it.
to? I know, but like, how do you write it in this? Like,
We're going to talk about that in
oh,
just a
okay.
second. This is perfect right here. That's what I'm looking for right now. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Tommy, how many packages of toilet paper are there in the box? 4T. How much? How many diapers? Plus 3 diapers. Keep it going. 5P. 6C. How many of us were able to get that there? We were able to figure out how many of each of those were in. I'm losing you guys. That's not working out for me though. Like I'm just not. Can I actually get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Stop. That little line of people who are chatting here, it's really screwing things up because I can tell that some people are joining in with your conversations and that doesn't work with me, and there's some people who are trying to focus and are unable to because of your conversations. What's going on right now does not meet my expectations. It does not make me happy, and I fully expect it to stop. Because right now, what you guys are doing is you're getting, not everybody, I'm not talking to everybody, I'm talking to like 4 of you. But I'm telling the 4 of you who are doing that, like, what you're telling me right now is don't do fun stories like this. Just show us the math. Just show us how to do it and don't tell any stories about it. And I know that's not the message you're trying to give me because usually that's what people like the most out of here, right? So please stop what that situation that's going on there. Do not care for it. Yes, Luke, you've got a question. Hmm? Oh, equals 1 box. We're going to get into equations a little bit later, okay? We're not there yet. I actually got a really good question over here from Addie. Addie was asking, how am I supposed to write this as like what did I do to this exactly? And what happened is it turns out the distributive property works both ways with multiplication and division. That's not 3, excuse me. So really we just divided that whole thing by 3, and that means that we divided all the pieces by 3. That's how you could show that. Because the distributive property works with division 2, because that's 12 divided by 3 is 4, 9 divided by 3 is 3, 15 divided by 3 is 5, 18 divided by 3 is 6. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, there we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Now, the question I want to ask you now is, Is there another way to write how much your whole donation was worth? Like, even though it's in the three boxes, I wonder if there's a way that I could change this one so that it went back to meaning all three boxes. All three boxes. When I say teach, I want you to say, okay, what can you write around here to make it so that this expression represents all three boxes again? Give it a try and teach. Pardon me. And then, this is for you, but we'll have you go in the last few minutes here so you don't miss this, okay? Perfect. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Nathan, what could I do to make it so this went back to how much my whole donation's worth? Bam. There it is. Beautiful. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to know. I'm going to rewrite this equation because this dividing by 3 kind of messes that up. But got a pencil? 12t plus 9d plus 15p plus 18c. Maybe you use different variables, and that's totally cool. This right here is what we call expanded form. That's expanded form. That's like there's no parentheses and all my like terms are combined, okay? And this over here, the one that we wrote with the 3 in front of it, is called factored form. So what we've done up to this point is I would give you something in factored form and then you would have to write it in expanded form. What we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be giving you stuff in expanded form and you're going to write it in factored form. Let's look at some examples here. Let's see here. There's another story here. For a Halloween food drive, you donate 30 cans of chili, 15 boxes of instant oatmeal, 25 boxes of powdered milk, 10 bags of pancake mix, and $5 in cash. Those are all things that they really do need. Like the chili, like people always give canned goods to these food drives, but it turns out that instant oatmeal, powdered milk, pancake mix, and cash is the best things that you can give them because you actually can do a lot with them, and it's just less sad than like a can of green beans. Write an expression showing how much your donation is worth. We're going to start with the whole thing. So don't worry about factoring it yet. We're going to do that in a minute. For now, just write an expression that represents the whole donation. 30 cans of chili, 15 boxes of instant oatmeal, 25 boxes of powdered milk, 10 bags of pancake mix, and $5 in cash. Give it a try, and here we go. I could go for some pancakes. Teach! Pancakes sound pretty good right now. Beautiful. Very good, Annie. Exactly. Yeah, that's smart. Mm-hmm. It doesn't go bad, and everyone needs milk. Absolutely. And powdered milk, honestly, it's not that bad. Yep, absolutely. That's smart. See, that's the kind of stuff that food banks really need. Mm-hmm. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. You never seen powdered milk? Yeah. Huh. It's not that bad. You yeah, you have to mix it really well though. That's the thing. You have to mix it really well. Really reconstitute it. Okay. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Shh. All right. Luke, what's the expression you would use to represent this donation? So sorry. I can't hear Luke. Go ahead. I would like expanded all the way out. Plus 10m plus 5. How many of us got something like that? Something like that. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Huh? Oh, I love that. So we actually don't need to put the dollar sign in there. Maybe at the end of the day, like if we had an actual number, we'd like if I told you, well, it turns out that this is worth that much, this is worth that much, how much is it worth? But we actually don't need a variable or anything for our 5 because we already know its value. Like if a box of oatmeal costs $300, it's 15 times 300. And also, holy crap, where are you getting your oatmeal? But it'd be 15 times $300. Since that's already a dollar amount, we don't need a variable with it. Great question, Mira. Okay, now what I love is that Luke was asking, hey, do you want this in factored form? Because the truth is, I do. But the question is, how many care packages can you make out of this donation, and how much is each donation worth? Will you guys go ahead and write that in factored form? Like if you split that into care packages, how many care packages would you want to split it up into? And what would that make your donation worth in factored form? Give it a shot, and here we go. My favorite flavor of oatmeal is blank. Teach! Brown sugar for sure. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Awesome. That's it. And then now, how much is in each care package? Good job working together, guys. I think the good one for this is here and here. Do anything other than what? Oh, so we're going to expand it. Sorry, factor it, in fact. So imagine that I use the distributive property and I multiplied it through and got all these numbers. What number could I multiply all of these by? Oh, I'm sorry. So I think here's another way. What factor do all of these numbers have in common? Yeah, so let's put a 5 on the outside and then open parentheses. And what would that 5 multiply to turn into a 30C? Or, yeah, 6C. There you go. That's it. And now we're going to ask the same question about the next term and the next term. Yeah, and then the last thing is we actually don't need this C here because it was $5 in cash, and we already know how much that's worth. Perfect. Very good. You love to see it. You're very welcome. Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Mira, how many care packages could I split this up into? Very good. Guys, I can't hear Mira. Shh. 3-0, yeah. That's okay. Awesome. Very good. Way to have that +1. You use different variables, and that's okay. You're allowed to use whichever variables you want to. So that's perfect. And I love that you had that +1 in there. That thing doesn't become invisible because I have to have a 1 to multiply by, 5 times that 1. And that's how we would write this in factored form. How many of us got this or see how we got this and aren't too concerned? You guys doing okay out there? Beautiful. Are you ready to try one that is just floating around in space? Let's see what we can do here. Self-assessment? Well, you will tomorrow. We're actually not even going to start it today. Okay, do I keep that in here? Oh, there you are. Okay, come on up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shh. Voices, please. Waiting. Okay. All right. Got a pencil? Okay, here we go. Because I'm looking for a reason to put a happy mark on there. I don't want to. I don't want. I haven't had anyone lose the scoreboard game in like years. I don't want you guys to be the first. Please. Okay. Write this down. Here's the expanded form. 12t minus 16r plus 20. If you were going to write that in factored form, you'd have something on the outside of the parentheses and some stuff on the inside. How would you factor that? Like, what would that look like before you use the distributive property? See what you guys can figure out and teach. Well, you get to pick. So go ahead, pick whichever one feels the most natural. We're actually in the last 10 minutes. We're almost out of here. Huh? Oh, I'll buzz you. I'll let you know. In fact, I tell you, after you get this one, let's call that good. Hmm? We're actually in the last 10 minutes. We're just about out of here. We're just about out of here. Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Excellent. Thank you guys. That was a much better countdown than we've been doing. I think you guys do deserve a point for that. Now let's keep it moving. Yep. Yep. You're good. You're good. You're off. Okay. Taos, what number did you put outside the parentheses here? Okay. 4? Okay. Now, if that's a 4, Taos, what needs to go in here to make a 12t? 3t? How about a minus 16r? He's on it. He's on it. He can do it. Come on. Leave him be. Leave him be. It's okay. Yeah, plus 5. Very good. How many of us got 4 open parentheses, 3t minus 4r plus 5? Did somebody get something different? Did somebody get something different? Well, how about this? Could someone get something different? Yeah, what could somebody get? Yeah, Skylar. Yeah, it could have been 2 open parentheses, 6t minus 8r plus 10. Now, these are both in factored form, but only one of them is what we call fully factored. When I say teach, I want you to say, okay, which of these two expressions do you think is fully factored? And what do you think it means for an expression to be fully factored? Give it a try and teach. Okay, come on up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Henry, which one of those do you think is fully factored? The top one. Agreed. Table A. Why do you think that one's fully factored? What do you think it means for something to be fully factored then? Beautiful. The idea, guys, when something is fully factored, table C, all the terms on the inside do not have a factor in common other than 1. In this one, 6, 8, and 10, do 6, 8, and 10 have a factor in common? They do, 2. And there's actually nothing to stop you from pulling the 2 out, like one step at a time. You just have to understand that would make this 2 times 2, 3t minus 4r plus 5. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And that's how you could do it. You could do it a step at a time, or you could do it the whole all at once. Let's do one more. Got a pencil? Oh, got a pencil?
Absolutely.
Negative 4k minus 6l plus 18. How would you factor that one? Teach! Mhm. Good job. I love that. Okay. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Shh. Voices, please. Liam, what factor, table G? Liam, what factor do those all have in common? Yeah, so I can pull out a 2, and the inside can be negative 2k minus 3l plus 9. How many of us got that or see how we got that and aren't too worried? You know, Tommy had some thought, though. Tommy, you said something kind of to yourself, but I want you to tell us now. What did you say? What were you saying to yourself? You could factor out a negative 2. And in fact, again, I'm not going to hold you to this because this is more of a 10th grade concept. But the truth is, guys, it's actually better to factor out the negative 2 than the 2 because we don't like the leading number on the inside of parentheses to be negative. And what that would do is just change all the signs. Oops, but it wouldn't change a 9 into a 3, would it? That's all we have, guys. There's no self-assessment tonight. Tomorrow we're going to work on this as a self-assessment. Make sure we're feeling really good about this. Hang out on your assigned seats. Make sure you bring your orange cards with you. Have them on your desk when your teachers are walking around, and we'll get what that's going. That's all I have.